Hi, good morning. Good morning. How's everyone going?
Yes, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're at, and welcome to the Savanh Family Show. And we are here to talk to you today about 4 questions to turn your successful thoughts, stressful thoughts, yes. So around and hey, look, we're going to discuss Byron Katie. So
let's find out.
So the big question is this: how do married couples like us, who have busy schedules, run high-performing businesses, face challenges daily, raise multiple children,
and yet still remain in love, passionate, and happy like when we first dated?
That is the question, and this show will give you the answers.
Welcome to the Savanh Family Show.
Master your relationship, your life, and your business now. Welcome back.
So
let's start with something that we're grateful for and something that we are celebrating. And let us know in the comment section. And for me, yes, I am obviously not very, very good. So I forgot that, 16 years ago, I asked my beautiful wife out here on a date. I'm not perfect. So, so that is what I'm grateful for. So I'm sharing that 16 years ago, I asked my beautiful wife on a date, and it's the best decision that I actually made. So I'm very, very grateful to have her in my life.
Yes, I still remember at that moment, he was asking me to be his girlfriend right next to a shoe store. Yes. People always say, emotion made you remember, right? My brain have not be able to remember a lot of things, but that day when he was asking me, I remember the feelings, and he was shaky, he was nervous, and he obviously is a very confident man. So that really warms my heart when I see that he was like nervous about asking me out, right?
Yes.
So, fast forward, it's been 16
years.
16
today.
years. Yeah.
Yep.
And I've never imagined I would be with a guy for that long.
Yes.
But again, we're very grateful that, we found each other and we're building, our life with each other.
Yes. Beautiful children and everything. So, awesome business, right? So, yes.
Absolutely.
So today we're going to talk about the 4 questions to turn your stressful thoughts around, and Byron Katie, something learned by Byron Katie.
Yes. This has been really useful, especially in the in the women's world too. I thought that it would be cool for the man too. It's really the 4 questions that can turn your stressful thoughts around. Why did they say that? It's a lot of really like good reframing question that you really want to ask yourself, because sometimes you just really get into the mode and then you just kind of get into the loop and you just can't really get yourself out. Especially when it's stressful, especially when you're in a low energy state. It's just like you're swimming against the current, right? So we thought that, it would be cool today to kind of share with you those 4 thoughts. So the first one is, if when you get a really stressful thought, then you wanted to ask yourself, the very first question is what you're thinking true? Right?
Yeah. So validate it, right? Don't assume. Is it true?
Is it really true? So for example, like if somebody say, oh man, Phyllis, I really don't think you're a good person, right? And you're like, oh my goodness, you get so stressed and like, oh, am I not a good person? And then you ask yourself, is this really true, right? Do you truly not a good person? No, it's not true. And you're like, hey, that's right. No, it's not true, right? And then the second question you want to ask yourself is, can you absolutely know that it is true? I think, Phyllis, that you're a bad person might not be a good, good way of saying that. So
Yes.
maybe I should say, Phyllis, are you stuck? I think maybe that's a better question, because sometimes, as a woman, you feel like you're stuck and you get worried, right? So, is it, is what you think is really true? Are you really stuck, right? I don't know. I think so, but I think I'm really stuck. But can you absolutely know that it is true? I don't know. Maybe I am. Maybe I'm not. Is there a 5% true that, we are not stuck at all? Yeah, babe. I think, we're not really stuck, right?
Yes.
And then you want to ask yourself the third question. What happened when you believe that? What happened to you when you believe that thought? Oh man, if I really do believe that thought that I am really stuck, that means that I am stuck. Because I believe, right? Just kind of what Henry Ford say, when you think you're right, when you think you're wrong, you're absolutely right. Because whichever way it goes, you're just going to be focusing on proving yourself right? So if you think that you're really stuck, that means that chances is, you're going to come up with the idea that you are stuck. And then who would you be without that thought? Who would you be without that thought? If I'm not stuck, if I'm not stuck, then who would I be? I will be very resourceful.
You'd be a happy person. You could be a lover. You could be, a great business person. Yeah. So whatever it is that when you're unstuck, what happens to you, right? Who you become.
Yes. So again, this is a very simple one. We want to keep it really quick. Whenever you're stressed, you just want to ask yourself, is what you think really true? Right? And then whenever you get the answer, just ask yourself again, can you absolutely know that it is true? Right? What happened when you believe that thought? Right? And then who would you be without that thought?
Yes.
And man, when I hear this from Mary and Katie, I just thought that have changed a lot of my world, because so now I'm no longer down in the rabbit hole. I actually are more strategic, right? Kind of like the previous, video that we just did. We talk about trigger, right? This will trigger you to not get into the stressful moment. This will trigger you to not continue going down to that rabbit hole.
Yes.
What do you think, babe?
Yes, that's amazing. Yes. So yeah, when you get unstuck, you totally become a different person, right? Because and when you're stuck, you're a totally different person as well. So who you become through this whole journey of success in life, business, and relationship is really, the destination is important, right? To get there. But what is a destination? It's who you become throughout the whole process. That's why it's so important to understand that out of all of this, to validate if it's true, can you absolutely know it's true? What happens when you believe that thought? Who would you be without that thought, right? So who would you be? So when you get unstuck, so very important. So again, yes. Thank you very much for watching, and we will see you in the next show to kind of summarize the question of the day. What are you going to do to get yourself unstuck and really, start asking yourself these questions when you get into a situation? What are you going to ask, right? Is it true?
Yes, and I hope you really enjoyed this, because this have changed my life, my perspective, especially, if you are a warrior, that means you worry a lot. Comment down below, have this been really helpful? Comment down below if this really got help you get unstuck. And strongly suggest, if you're really interested in it, go to Amazon. We'll, put in the link down below about the book that Myron and Katie have about, these questions.
Yes. Thank you, guys. Love ya. Bye-bye. If you like this show, subscribe now.
Remember, mastery starts here.
See you on the next show.